greetings from National Skills Network. This is Madhuri, and I'm back with another exciting conversation. And this conversation is something that I think will play a very important role in, in deciding about where we should prioritize skilling. What are the kind of jobs that are getting created, and which is the industry that is actually creating so many jobs. So when you think about all this, one industry comes to our mind, and that is the textile industry. We have with us today Dr. Swapna Mishra, who's the CEO of Textile Sector Skill Council. I have been a huge fan of hers in terms of her knowledge and her expertise in this sector, and also been learning, from their website and listening to her talks, etc. So today we have her with us. And I'm now going to get started by asking her one very important question concerning the industry. Ma'am, this industry is undergoing so many changes, and the notion of the industry, the idea of the industry is also not very clear. I'll tell you why. Most often we get confused between apparel, garments, textiles, handlooms. So I would like to ask you to maybe, clarify all these and then tell us where there is an overlap and how the industry is evolving and creating a need for a lot of skilled workforce.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your kind words and for the opportunity to share my views here. As you rightly said, textile is the focus sector of the government. There are PM Mitra parks coming up. We are the sixth largest exporter, and we are aiming high to climb up the stairs. Yes, there is a lot of confusion in the minds of general public as to the difference between handicrafts, apparel, and textiles. So just to give a little bit of clarity, if we are knitting a sweater by hand using the needles, the hand knitting needles, it would come in the handicraft sector. If we are knitting it with the help of a machine, it would come in the textile sector. And if we are putting a stitch to it, like making a garment out of it, that will come in the apparel sector. Similarly, for the fabrics, right from the fiber to fabric, that is whether we get the cotton post the agricultural field when it is harvested, or silk cocoons post cocoon. From there till getting the fabric woven, including dyeing, printing, finishing, including conventional textiles as well as technical textiles. Conventional textiles are those which we generally use for, which we are aware of, apparel, homemade furnishings is there where they are used. The fabrics we wear and the fabrics from which the furnishings are made. To technical textiles, which are primarily designed or engineered to give certain functional properties, like bulletproof fabrics, waterproof, fireproof, protection, defense fabrics. So there is a clear demarcation. While handicraft is majorly by hands, in apparel you can have third-party training providers putting a few sewing machines in a training center, whereas for textiles, our training providers are either the handloom self-help organizations or the big mills like Raymond, Siaram, Vardhaman. So you need high-end technology in textiles. That is the difference. I hope that makes it clear.
Yeah, I think this was quite a simplified, differentiation between all these. And I'm sure the audience also has got to understand this very clearly. And now you mentioned a couple of very interesting things here. You talked about technology, mills, manufacturing. So the image we carry about textiles is, one of the major images is those mills, like we used to hear about mills in Mumbai, right? The big names you mentioned. I'm sure all those are still there. The mills are there, even though some of them might have closed down. But the potential to create jobs and the need for skills, I think it covers a very wide spectrum from ITI to IIT. like you yourself being highly qualified in this specialization. And on the other hand, an ITI student who could be a 10th pass also has an opportunity to enter into this industry. Can you please highlight what are the kind of job roles that are coming up and how this sector is like one of the representative industries in terms of manufacturing latest technologies? Probably you can also give us examples about job roles from the QP NOS that are available on your website.
So, as you rightly said, this is not just about fashion. As far as education is concerned, the training or the skilling goes on in the textile mills and handloom clusters, of course, but in the academic scenario, in the ITIs to the IITs. So, amongst the IITs, only IIT Delhi has a BTech, MTech, and PhD in textiles. Among the NITs, it is NIT Jalandhar, which is there. And then there are other engineering colleges offering courses in textiles. For apparel, mostly NIFT or institutes related to fashion would offer the courses. So here we have job roles which deal with core production, production planning, raw material sourcing, and supply chain management, marketing, research and development, quality control, machine operators, machine fitters, shift supervisors. These are the people who would be there coming from ITIs and engineering colleges. And then of course, as you progress towards higher levels, like from supervisor to assistant manager, manager. So this is a core manufacturing or production kind of a setup where the conditions are that you might have to stand for 8 hours in the shift, and you're responsible for getting the production and efficiency, and responsible for maintaining the machine breakdowns to the minimum, and man machine allocation. How can you get the best quality or the required quality in the required time?
And also, in addition to this, there is a huge scope for women also to participate in this industry. As I get to learn from your updates, where you are helping, SHGs and other women. So probably you can also throw some light on what is the scope for this. Besides, as you said, the big names in the industry, they conduct their own training and all. But what about the small entrepreneurs or those who are from the rural areas? How does the industry help them, and what kind of training and capacity building measures are needed here?
So the textile sector can broadly be divided into 3, 4 subsectors for ease of our understanding. One is the handloom sector, where the things are manufactured using a handloom, where there is no power there, but it is a machine though. Then we have the power loom sector, where the power or electricity is used, and we have the shuttleless looms. And then we have the technical textiles, which is coming up, and then recycling also. So recycling is also coming up in a big way. We need entrepreneurs in all these sectors, apart from the big mills, which are already there. So we are on a mission to create a certain number of women entrepreneurs successfully. And for that, we are creating courses. We are also creating online courses, which are free for the candidates, where a lot of experts are coming in to give mentorship to the women entrepreneurs. In the handloom sector, we also have a handloom entrepreneur course. And in the recycling, we have entrepreneur, textile waste management, which is there. All these are in line with the NSQF and NCRF and the National Education Policy. Therefore, they're also can be very seamlessly embedded in the curriculum, academic curriculums of BVOCs and ITIs and BTECs. And in fact, we have created quite a number of entrepreneurs using the university graduation system, so that people are independent and have a producer company or self-help group of their own. So be it right from the handlooms to the technical textiles, uh, uh, there are a lot of government fundings also available for startups, and there are courses available very well embedded in the education system, where people who are interested can get skilled and have a startup or a producer company of their own.
Okay. I'm so glad you just mentioned about NEP, NCRF, and NSQF, etc. This is something we have always been promoting from our channel. I have myself done a lot of presentations because this is so relevant today. Now, in this context, if there are, let's say, educational institutions who want to offer textile related training programs or add this as one of the subjects, like you just mentioned, for a vocational or a work integrated degree program, how can the Sector Skill Council help them?
So first of all, we look at their existing curriculum. Because as you're aware, the textile sector has different clusters, and each cluster has its own uniqueness and its own nuances. And based on that, in each cluster, there are textile institutions offering engineering courses, some clubbed with fashion also, and some are not clubbed with fashion also. So we look at their courses, where the students are coming from, what are their aspirations, and accordingly, we do a one-to-one handholding to help them design a course where, some of their existing courses, which might be redundant, may be replaced with the skill courses. And we also then will look at the availability of the OJT at either the industry or the cluster for entrepreneurship, if they want that handholding where the student doesn't have to move out a lot. So it depends on whether all the students are local students or they are hostelers or they are ready to move around. And what are the aspirations of the students in general? The teachers, the faculty would know. So we sit with them, we curate the program, and then we offer that. So they can get connected with us directly if anybody is interested. We are supporting quite a lot of industries and also creating a lot of entrepreneurs.
Fine. So I hope this message, is taken and made a note by all these, institutions who are interested. And also now in terms of capacity building, I've seen most of the times there are updates from your office about TOT, that is training of trainers. So how does this get conducted, or, if there are people again who want to approach you for capacity building, do you extend support to such institutions?
Yes, we do that because the quality of not just the trainers, but assessors, master trainers and master assessors is also very, very important. In the textile sector, there are a number of textile research associations who have been offering training and mentorship support to the industry for almost 3 to 4 decades. So they are our TOT academies or TOA academies, whether TOT or TOA is done offline, that is in practical mode. So as per the NSDC standards, there is a, if a fresh candidate wants to do the TOT, there is a certain 10 days of TOT which is there. And there is also provision of recognition of prior learning, that is orientation followed by assessments for existing people who've already been training. Essentially, for the handloom sector, structured TOT is not there in the market. Therefore, we insist that people coming from the handloom sector do go through the fresh TOT entire program. And wherever they have been conducting training programs for, say, 4 to 5 years, and they are recognized as trainers in the industry or the mill, which is organized, there we do orientation and recognition of prior learning. So we have both the offline as well as online modes of training and assessment for TOT as well as TOA. I'm sure you will share our contact details at the end of the video for people who would like to get in touch with us. So we realize that the role of the teacher, mentor, trainer is very, very crucial in this ecosystem, and we are ready to support. We already have more than 4,000 trainers and over 2,000 assessors in the system, but anybody willing to get trained is most welcome. I also am, addressing the faculty development programs of various universities and educational institutions. the FDPs under AICT, UGC, which is done, to apprise them about NSQC, NCRF, NEP, and how the skill courses can be embedded. There are a lot of doubts in the minds of academicians also. How do we, because conventionally skill is supposed to be a very low respect kind of a thing.
Right.
And people feel that, okay, if low level carpenter, these kind of jobs which are to be done with hand, then only, or pottery maybe, which, or craft maybe, where I'm very interested in some learning some skills. But skills, as you rightly said, from ITI to IIT, there is a whole range of skills which is to be learned. And
Yeah.
we are supporting in every aspect, and trying to remove the doubts, queries, confusions which they have, so that they are able to embed skilling and uh, education seamlessly.
Yeah. I think this is such an important point you just brought into this conversation, and I'm really happy to see how you connected it with the industry itself and also other industries. We from NSN, as you must have observed, we are actually going to complete 10 years very soon. One message that has been continuously been there for us is to make skilling aspirational and create this kind of positive feeling about skilling and tell people that skilling is not just some mean hand job or something like that. No, it is mental, it is intellectual. Yeah, it could be manual, but then it has so much to do, right? So uh, that's really good that you brought it here. And before we close this conversation, I have few very important points. Let me ask you one by one. One, you mentioned about technical textiles. I think not many people are aware about this part of the industry. So can you tell us a bit more about what it is and where these textiles are used?
So conventional textiles, we all know the textiles we wear and use in our daily homes and offices. Technical, which are basically, prepared for their aesthetic value, how
Hmm.
we look and how does it seem,
Hmm.
how does it make us feel. Technical textiles are more those fabrics which are designed for their functional properties.
Hmm.
Either they will give us some kind of protection or some medical devices. For example, the textiles are used in constructions, in building, in healthcare, also in defense. So
Hmm.
earlier we used to have steel or metal parts. When somebody broke their bone, a metal rod was inserted to
Hmm.
replace that bone. Now it is made of a textile
Oh.
material, so that it is not conductive, it is lighter, and you don't get electric shocks. Our F-16 Falcon planes, our automobiles are now made of textile composites to make them lighter, also to make them EMR shielding. Then you have stab resistant, you have fire protective, you have high temperature, extreme weather clothing. For example, if you go to the poles, if a scientific exhibition is going to the poles, they cannot have a cotton vest, because cotton absorbs the water and then it freezes there, and then it'll, next to the chest, it will cause pneumonia. So you need to have a textile which allows breathability but doesn't absorb water. So
Oh.
according to the functions, so textiles, there are 12 sub-segments of technical textiles. Anybody can Google it. Right from building to road construction to bridges to tracks to uh, uh, automobiles to healthcare, any field you see, textiles are there.
Hmm. So this is quite different from the traditional textiles that we have heard of and we knew, most of the time. And there is one more point which I thought I should ask you. This is about, let's say, for example, when people want to introduce something new, like a short-term program, a short-term skilling program, which is probably more like a skilling enhancement kind of thing, because today we are talking about courses which can be added to a regular degree program, right? You must be aware of the kind of UGC mandate that has come in, where skill-based courses can be added, which are also falling under technology and other things. So does textile also have that kind of a scope where a short-term training program can be added, let's say about 6 months or so?
Yes, of course. Before that, I was also like to add, as you mentioned, the technical textiles.
Yeah.
Many people whoever has seen the movie Mission Mangal would know there was a Wolverine fabric there which was self-healing. So
Oh,
that is also a technical textile that, whenever something hit it and it got torn, it
uh,
healed itself. So
oh,
that is also one technical textile. We are mimicking nature. People who have seen Mission Impossible, there the protagonist, climbs the glass building with the help of gloves.
hmm.
Those are also technical textile inspired by lizards.
Oh, okay.
Then we have swimsuits inspired by shark skin. So these are all technical textiles which are there. The space suits which astronauts use, even the space vehicles, they're all
Hmm.
technical textiles.
Yeah, so the question was, today we are looking at introducing skill-based courses, which are additional courses, and also there is a mandate from UGC about this, especially in the higher education sector. These could be colleges which are non-engineering colleges also. Is there a scope in such colleges to introduce a short-term course? Probably it could be something like appreciating this particular industry, so that you catalyze a thought in the students about what scope it has. It need not be totally hands on. So there could be some innovative courses like that, and then probably sensitizing them, creating awareness about the industry. Do you think there is a scope to offer such courses?
Of course, there are courses and there are courses which could be introduced in the school ecosystem till the college level higher education. For core engineering courses also and for general courses also, BA, BSc, BCom. There are various kind of employments in the industry where not everybody employed is an engineer.
Hmm.
So there are accountants, there are people doing export documentation, there are people doing compliances, there are people in the supply chain. So there are courses ranging from 7.5 hours to 6 months
Oh, okay.
could be embedded, which we are of course doing. So as you know, 30 hours is one credit.
Yeah.
We have one credit, half a credit, one fourth a credit, two credit, three credit, four credit courses, and also 6 month courses,
Hmm.
which would lead to entrepreneurship also and with OJT in the industry also. So all those kind of things are available. So people who are interested can get in touch with us depending on their requirement. We have currently 77 NSQF aligned courses
Yeah.
for the whole gamut from fiber to fabric, including technical textiles. Some of them are mapped with the UK international standards. Some of them offer international mobility like employment after training to Japan and South African countries also. Of course, in India, of course, employment is there. So depending on what is the requirement, we can suggest people what are the courses.
Okay. Yeah, we will definitely share details about how our audience can contact you, in the description of this video, and also in the web version on our website, they can find the details. Now, before we close this conversation, I would like to ask you if there's anything very important or if there's any message you want to convey to our audience through this conversation. It would be nice to hear from you.
Uh, One message I have is that, there was a time when people came searching for our country because of our textiles. Uh, Over decades, over a period of time, our conventional textiles, which were craft or traditional textiles,
Mm.
have lost the glory basically because they are prepared with a lot of skill, lot of love, lot of emotion. So they take time. As people are moving towards slow textiles, green textiles, eco-friendly textiles, textiles which value tradition, I would encourage people to promote and wear handlooms which fall in the category of all these and also promote our culture. and also the tradition, and also the ESG norms and eco-friendly slow textiles. And of course, explore textiles for their career and career progression, because the sky is the limit if you know the right skills.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was a really very inspiring message for all of us, because this industry, I think, has got so much to contribute to the sustainable development goals as well, right? Which, like you pointed out. So, on that note, thanks a lot for giving us your time today and talking to us. And we will be in touch with you and get the updates. And then, as and when it is possible, we would like to keep communicating about the industry, the scope for education, skills, and jobs as well. Thanks once again.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the opportunity. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.